As we continue our coverage of Charleston's mayoral race, today we have the privilege of once again sitting down with candidate Mika Gadsden, an advocate for change and a fierce proponent of more fair and equitable election culture. Mika, it's so nice to see you again.
Thank you for having me again.
So on the tails of what I just said, there was an incident that happened a week ago that we need to address. Can you give us a backstory on what happened?
Absolutely. Well, about a week ago, we got word from the local Charleston Metro Chamber of Commerce. After inquiring, we got word that we will not be, the Mika for Mayor campaign would not be able to attend an upcoming mayoral forum. Okay. And this is after, again, we saw that they had publicized that the male candidates for mayor would all be attending this forum. And we were maybe we thought we lost an email, an invitation. However, that was not the case. And we were told that we were excluded because I was not considered to be a leading candidate.
Okay, and now something else I want to highlight is you were excluded, and also another candidate,
Absolutely.
Deborah Gammons, who is also a black woman,
Absolutely.
was also excluded. What was your initial thoughts and feelings when you found out this news?
The optics were just unavoidable. The optics of having two black women excluded at this time in our state's political climate where reproductive rights are being fought over, to not have women present, to not have a woman entrepreneur present, to not have black women present in the city with this rich civil rights history, it was abhorrent, and I was very offended by it.
And something that really stood out to me is something that is on your website is you want to build a table for people who don't have a seat.
Absolutely.
And I feel like this particular incident resonated with me, that this is what you want to change these times. I want you to talk a little bit about the myth of electability we touched on a little bit earlier. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, well, I think you can see that is reflected in who we have as elected officials. The electeds that serve this state are disproportionately white and male. They don't look like me, they don't look like Deborah Gammons, and we need to change that. I think that the media, local media, has a responsibility to frame this race in a way where they don't pick winners. So I think we have an issue here culturally where local media and influential institutions are giving credence to this myth that excludes black women and working class candidates. It's not just a gender issue, it's not just a race issue, it's also a class issue. I'm the only renter. Charleston's comprised about 45% renters. To not have a working class mayoral candidate present at as many forums as possible, to me, it does an injustice for those who are trying to learn more about this race and engage.
So you're a working candidate. How do you feel like that is viewed? Do you feel like you don't get as much respect as other candidates who aren't?
Yeah. I think the culture around how we engage candidates is just broken. We have a flurry of invitations for forums and debates and meeting with local neighborhood associations. All of that came in this last 60-day period. We could have been talking about these issues and having forums and hosting debates well before now. And I think that the deadlines are arbitrary and unfair. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a wealthy developer. I don't have the income to really navigate so much of this. I'm making it work and will make it work, but I don't think a typical working class candidate could do the things I'm doing if I didn't have the support of my volunteer team.
Yeah. So now, what would you do in office to support, these political discussions being more inclusive and having, hearing voices from people that represent the entire demographic?
Yeah, I'm going to continue to fight. I've always fought for people to have more access to their democracy. I've always fought for more media literacy, so I'm going to continue to champion those values. But moreover, it's what I have to say as a candidate. Another statistic, black women entrepreneurs, they grew substantially between 2017 and 2020, right? So you have this huge emerging group of women who are trying to make things better for themselves and start their own businesses. That's why it's important for someone like myself, an entrepreneur, to be present at any Chamber of Commerce event. But also that speaks to the growth here. I mentioned renters here. I'm going to continue to speak directly to working class candidates so they know and they see themselves in my campaign. I'm going to continue to also get that help from those people. That's where we've been knocking doors.
Absolutely. And so this forum that was originally supposed to be held Tuesday, September 5th, I believe.
It was.
It's postponed, right?
Well, they have rescheduled. We're currently emailing. Our team does plan on participating in that upcoming forum. So we are excited about that opportunity. But yes, it has been rescheduled. Yeah.
And now, Mika, as far as you go, do you have any upcoming events?
Well, I've been knocking doors. I really would love for people to go to votemika.com, hit that Get Involved tab. You can sign up to be a volunteer. We're going to be canvassing on Thursday and on Saturday and Sunday. Also, if you sign up for my newsletter on Instagram, you go to Vote Mika Gadsden on Instagram, and in the bio, you'll see a tab. You can join that newsletter and also stay up to date about where I'll be, what forums and debates I'll be attending.
Okay, Mika, it's always a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Absolutely. We're back in 2 minutes.